Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about the box model, which is really important for CSS. Also, we can have some fun making some applications together. So, if you think about CSS as all elements are represented as a box, that's what the box model is in CSS. To break it down a little more specifically, each box model consists of four different, basic parts: content, padding, margin, and border. So here is where the content part is and where texts and images appear. This refers to the padding of internal space. And margin, it's also part of this outer void. And finally, the border is the part surrounding the box. So learning the box model is, just a quick shorthand of how we talk about changing the distance between elements that we'll use in CSS, how close they are, how we position the boxes, and it's going to be useful as we continue on to some of the more complex features. So we're going to start by creating a box.html file in Atom straight away. And then I want to immediately create a box.css file for CSS. And we can just write box model in the title section here. I want to prepare a box with a div tag. And we don't want to spend too much time in the class section for now, so I'll just write that this is a box. So when we run this way, we can't see a box. As if there's only text, it says this is a box, right? So in the meantime, to see the changes that we made in CSS, let's not forget to give our HTML file the CSS file name in the link tag. And we can start to shape our box within our CSS file. So first, let's state the content of our box, namely its width and height. So I'll enter 250 pixels as the width and 200 pixels as the height. And then when I save the changes and refresh the page, we can't see any changes. Why is that? That's right, because we neither have a background color nor a border color in our box. Good thinking. So first, I'll want to give it a border. Let's just call it 3 pixels thick, and line type will be solid and orange in color. So now when we save it and look at the changes, we'll see a 250 by 200 pixel box with an orange border. Okay, so now comes the padding part. So we've talked about this as the inner space. The space between the text here and the area bounded by the border part. We'll give 100 pixel padding and see what that looks like when they're changed together. So just right-click on the text part and say Inspect. So now we can see the padding part more clearly. And then when we look at the incoming part, the green part is the padding part. And look here, here's the 100 pixel space from the top, the bottom, the right, and the left. So if we want to, we can specify the top part, the bottom part, the right part, and the left part separately. So what I'll do is I'll set padding left to 75 pixels, padding right to 100, padding top 75, and we'll go down to the bottom at 100. That way it's all together, and now we can see the difference when I save and review the changes. So we have now determined the values one by one, or using the same value. So now as we can see in our box, it's aligned to the left corner here. So I'm going to want to bring our box a little bit further. So for this, I'm just going to use our margin feature. So I'll set the margin value to 200, and I can see that my box is coming now in the middle when I save the changes and have a look. So here we can see more clearly what we're doing just by saying inspect. So the orange part shows the margin part, and all the distances are 200 pixels. And in this section, if we want to, we can give the top, bottom, right, and left values separately as well. So let's have a look at this with a different style of writing. So I'll write margin colons, initial value, top value is 100 pixels, and right 150, then bottom 175, and finally the left 200, and semicolons. And yeah, refresh and inspect like we did before. All right, and another type of writing is double style. So here, the first value is top and bottom, and the second value is left and right. So if top and bottom has the same value, and if the left and right are going to be the same value, we can use that way. All right, so in this lesson, we talked a little bit about the box model, but more importantly, we demonstrated how and why it's an important topic in CSS. We talked about a box, which is divided into content and border and padding and margin, and those are the 4 parts in the box model. Now, in our next lesson, we're going to talk about position and float. Goodbye for now. I'll see you then.